right, everyone. Hello, and welcome to this webinar about Tempo's reporting and business intelligence capabilities, how to turn data into action with Tempo reports. So my name is Ólöf Kristjánsdóttir, and I'm a marketing director here at Tempo. And with me here today, we have Daniel Scott, our product marketing director, and our lovely product manager, Hjalti Einarsson. And welcome, Daniel, and welcome, Hjalti. Maybe if you two would take a moment to introduce yourself, starting with Daniel.
Sure, no problem. Ólöf, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is, as Ólöf mentioned, Daniel Scott, and I'm the product marketing director here at Tempo. I've been with Tempo for a little over 4 months now, but I have a reasonably lengthy experience in B2B SaaS product marketing, been doing that for around 20 years now. So very excited to be part of this webinar today. Thank you so much for attending. Great to see so many of you interested in where we can add some value with our Tempo reporting solutions, and super excited for Hjalti to be on the call, and he can take you through some of the innovations and some of the product features and functions that we're releasing in the not too distant future, which will hopefully prove valuable to customers and prospects on the webinar today. So Hjalti, can I ask you to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Can everybody hear me? Ólöf, Daniel?
We can, yep.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Hjalti Einarsson. I'm like Daniel, relatively new. Came on board a little over 9 months ago, and I'm the product manager for reports. So I will deep dive a little bit later into what I'm going to show you. But thank you guys. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Hjalti. So just a quick look at the agenda today. We'll start by telling you a little bit about Tempo and the benefits of our reporting capabilities, and then we will hand it over to Hjalti for an overview, a live demo, and a sneak peek at the product roadmap for Tempo reports, and some very exciting new features coming out in the next few months. So stay tuned, and we will finish the session with a Q&A. And with that, I will hand it back to Daniel.
Great, thank you so much, Ólöf. So for those who aren't aware, Tempo is the market leader in time tracking solutions, and our suite of products includes Tempo Timesheets, with which a lot of you may be familiar, Tempo Planner, Cost Tracker for Tempo Timesheets, and also Tempo Budgets. We've been around since about 2007, and some of you on the call may already know us quite well, and you've already experienced how some of our tools give you and your team what you need to efficiently manage your time, your tasks, and your projects. Others on the call may be relatively new to Tempo and are looking for guidance on how to integrate Tempo reports into your business processes. So we hope we will not only be able to show you how to set all of that up today, but also give you an insight into how you can leverage Tempo reports for better business decision making. So here is just a sample of some of the more than 20,000 customers who currently benefit from using Tempo products. And we have customers, as you can see on the slide here, who range from small consulting agencies to really dozens of the world's most prestigious brands. And as more and more companies rely on software solutions and software development as a key factor in their strategy and ongoing success, it becomes increasingly important to track time spent on a variety of different projects and initiatives. And whether you're a large or small company, you really don't need me to tell you that tracking time accurately in real time is really essential. However, to realize the true benefits of tracking time across projects and initiatives, a robust real-time reporting function is critical. And luckily, Tempo's solutions feature a number of advanced reporting capabilities, and Hjalti will now take everyone through what is currently available and also what is coming. But before, I'm going to hand proceedings back to Ólöf for the first poll question of the day. Ólöf, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel. And yes, we would like to hear from the audience. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the first poll of the day, and let's see if this works. There we go. We want to know, how long have you been using Tempo? Maybe you're currently not using Tempo, or maybe you have a trial and you're evaluating if Tempo is a good solution and a good fit for your company. Perhaps you've been using Tempo for about a year or a little more than a year, or you're a long-time Tempo user and have been using Tempo for 2 years or more. and you're here to learn maybe a few of the more advanced features that we have to offer. And we'll give you a minute or so to respond, and we'll be sharing the results once we close the poll. Great, and I think that should be just about enough time. So we'll go ahead and close the poll and we'll share the results. So let's see. Oh, we have a nice mix here. We have a few newcomers, a few that are getting to know the product, and then a number of people that have been using it for some time. So Daniel, what do you think of this composite of the audience today?
I think that's a healthy mix. I think with these webinars, we're always trying to make sure that the information we're sharing is as relevant as it can be for the audience. So it's great to see a real cross section of customers, perhaps dipping their toe in the water of time tracking solutions or reporting against time tracking solutions versus customers who perhaps have been with us for a little while and are looking to perhaps hone their environments to make sure they're getting the most out of reporting solutions in which they've already invested, or perhaps looking to invest further in additional solutions to improve that reporting engine upon which they can base their mission critical business decisions. So I think that's a great mix, and I'm excited that some of the content that we have for you today really addresses each of these scenarios. So a little bit of something for everybody, we hope.
Terrific. And thank you all for responding. We really appreciate it. We'll go ahead and close the poll and we'll get back to the presentation. So now to the real reason you're all here, the tempo reports. I will now hand it over to Hjalti, who will take it from here. So Hjalti, if you can, I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen and then you can take over.
Thank you very much, Olof. Let me share my screen. Yeah, thank you. So like Daniel was talking about in regards to the agenda, I'm going to go over a little bit how we see reports moving forward for Tempo. I'm going to go over high level of how we see Tempo. Then I'm going to go over the goals of 2021. I'm going to go into a introductory demo where I'm going to show the let's call it the basic functionality. But hopefully later we can, in later webinars, we can deep dive into specific user cases. But for now, it's an introductory into the reports and what they're capable of doing. After that, I'm gonna show the roadmap and then give you a sneak peek into what we are working on. And Oliver then end up asking you if you will potentially participate in some of the testing of these new features, which I'm really excited about. And of course, we want customer feedback while we are developing so we can build something together, which is fantastic and everybody can use and find useful, of course. The future of Tempo reports. So we sat down together as a team and thought, like, how do we see reports moving forward? And I will read this for you guys. Tempo Reports is an easy to adopt and cohesive reporting solution preferred by our customers to get insight into how their organization are investing their time. Tempo Report helps customers make informed business decisions, and just-in-time data and collaboration features enable our users and their stakeholders to respond rapidly to change. So basically, we want to elevate reports and make them more interactive, make them more capable of solving the real day-to-day business problems or whatever you need in regards to your business and your organization. Then we move on, and these are our goals. So based on our vision for reports, these are our goals for 2021. Make reports more intuitive, support key user cases for users, and move up the value chain. What that means is that we've spent a lot of time in what we call the idea portal, and I encourage everybody to go in there and either vote or give us ideas on how we can improve reports. But it's pretty clear when going through that there are key user cases that we need to support moving forward. And also, we wanna increase the value of our reports by enhancing the at-a-glance functionality and make them more intuitive. The second goal is creating a holistic reporting experience across our products with standardized experience and functionality. So basically what this is saying is it doesn't matter what platform you're on, if you're on cloud or if you're on server or if you have this kind of subscription, etc. You should be able to do whatever you can do on both platforms and on all of the reports. And this is really important to us. The last one is improving reporting infrastructure to support new reporting development, which I will give you a sneak peek into a little bit later. And then, of course, optimize reports for enterprise needs. So we really want our reports to perform. It doesn't matter how big of an instance you have or organization. We really want you to get and access your data in a timely manner. And to accomplish all of this, we have a new team specifically dedicated to reports. So without any more feedback from me, I will go into the demo. So this is going to be an introductory demo, and then in the end you will be able to ask questions either about the demo or about the features, roadmap, whatever you want. So I'm going to switch over to the demo. Here you go. So can you see my screen, Olaf?
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect, thank you. So what I'm presenting you here is the reporting overview. So if you hover over the left navigation here, you can see my work, which you log time, see worksheets, etc. Then if you have Planner, you can access Planner here. And the third option here is reports and reporting overview. In the reporting overview, depending on what products you have or are subscribed to, we have log time report. And if you have Planner, we would have plan time report. And then plan versus actual, which is combining plan time versus log time you have actually logged. And below here, if I hover over log time, you can at a glance see a little bit about what the report shows. Same with plan time, and then finally with plan versus actual. In this specific demo, I'm going to focus on log time report, go through a simple case, hopefully use most of the functionality, and then I'm going to move on to the roadmap. But first of all, if you click log time report, you get a dialog here, and you can do two things. You can either filter based on your organization, projects, team, roles, account, etc. Or what you can do is you can group by different attributes or what you want to see specifically in that report. By default, project and user are displayed. So I'm gonna start there. I create a report, and what I'm presented with is project and users. So you can see the projects here above, and it's a hierarchical. So you can see projects, and under the project you can see the users and what time they have logged on that project, cloud, and whatever. So your organization would show exactly the same data. So what you can also do is, so of course, before I go any further, the time or the date span we are viewing is January here. So if I want to see specifically the roles of these users, I can go filter, and you can filter by many things: project, teams, accounts, etc. But what I want to do, I want to see roles. So I can click roles, and then I can see all the different roles in my organization. So I click developers, and then I can clearly see that all of my developers are working on Lunar Labs, and here you can see the different logged time. And I will show you this functionality a little bit later. What I can also do is I don't want to see specifically developers. I want to see the whole organization, and I want to focus on something different. So let's say I want to look at epics, and then I want to look at issues, and then I want to look at maybe subtasks. What I can do is I clear the whole thing about project and users. And then what I'm presented with is all the different issues in epics. So initially you can see there's a lot of issues here in the beginning. These are not grouped by epics because they don't have an epic. Then below here you can see the different issues under epic, And then you can clearly see that there are no subtasks here. So what I want to do, I want to clean this up even more. So I want to strip it of epics, and I can clearly see there's no subtask. So go back into the menu, and I remove epics, and then I remove issues. And what I'm left with is only issues. Of course, we know that epics are issues as well. And what I can do here is I can sort. So I can sort by issue, I can sort by key, and whatever columns I add. So here I want to sort by log time. And there you go. You can see that the team has been working a lot on building mobile UI, then database structure, and then app code review. So a lot of stuff is happening on the mobile here. So you're wondering about billable and estimated. So these are columns that I can completely control in the report. So I can remove billable if I set that up. You can set that up when you set up your organization, and I can turn it on and off. So for example, if I just want to see maybe billable and estimated, I can view them here. So you can compare. So logged 120, out of those 120, billable 120, and it was estimated 40. For some reason, we went over the estimation. So you can maybe ask questions about that to your mobile developers. And this is easily removable again. So you can just remove again, and then you can basically see only log time. What you can also do is you can see here that I'm in an overview mode. So what you can do is click here and you can view days. And by doing that, you can see clearly what people have been spending on each day, spending the time on each day. And then you can go into weeks and see the same thing here. But what we want to do, we want to keep the overview here, and we clearly want to see, I would say, billable. And then in this report, I want to see estimated. So once again, you can sort by these as well. So I'm happy with the report. I can see what I need to see. This is something that I want to communicate to the rest of the organization, but I don't want to lose this information. So what I do here is I click save, and then I give it a name. Let's call it issue overview team report. And then I save the report. So now if I go back to the overview, you can see that the sample report has gone, and then you're presented with the report you just saved. And of course, this is dynamic. So the log time will of course change as people within your organization are logging time, or changing any of the billable or any of the estimations. I'm happy with this. I like it. I will revisit this many times throughout the quarters. But what you can also do is, if you want to work further with the data, take it out of the environment, our UI, you can actually click export. So you can take this specific view and export it to a PDF, or you can export it in a printable view, or you can take the whole data set and export it into a CSV, Excel, or whatever Excel format you want to choose. Because this is our instance, we are testing a lot of stuff on this instance. You can see here you can export chart to PNG, and this is a little sneak peek of what I want to show you a little bit later. But yeah, that's about it for the quick demo. Next up, I'm going to move back to the presentation and go into presentation mode and show you the roadmap. So there's a big disclaimer here, and there's a reason for that. So it's the beginning of the year, and we are still working on fine-tuning our velocity, what we can actually deliver. So what I'm about to show you, is the first version of the roadmap. And then, of course, we look at the idea portal regularly, and if there's something highly voted and outrank something else, we might look at that instead of something else. But with the information we have, this is the roadmap. So what we're doing in Q1 is exactly trying to achieve our 3 goals, or one of them actually. So we want to create a data visualization for our report. So at a glance, anybody within the organization can go in to a saved report or create their own report and see visualization of that. So you can see that in our dummy data, we don't have a lot of big organization, but a lot of the organization out there have a huge organization. So instead of scrolling through a lot of data and sorting, you can see at a glance in the visualization what exactly is happening within your organization. What we also want to enhance is this specific user case of exporting. So right now, if you export CSV and Excel, you get your whole data set. With exporting, what you see is what you get. You only get the data you have saved or you have actually configured. So there's no need to redo a lot of the configurations in Excel or whatever tool you're using. What you see is what you get allows us to do that. Moving forward in Q2, we will focus on performance while enhancing some of the key user cases like account reporting, adding group by categories, category types, customers, and leads. And then we will improve some of the filtering, low-hanging fruits. And then I want to guide your attention here to this feature here, shareable report. So we have one of the most voted features to implement on Idea Portal is shareable features. So you can do shareable features in multiple ways. How we see it now is you can share saved reports, and then you can also publicly share. Of course, there will be some permissions shared or not shared. We will have to figure that out. But this, we are really excited about this, and I will give you a little sneak peek on where we are there. A few other key user cases: custom fields in reporting and issue reporting. We're going to focus on this, plus 0 hours in reporting. So if a user hasn't done anything, you will still see that user, but with 0 hours. Moving on to Q4, to complement shareable reports, we will allow the user to subscribe to those reports. So you can get a weekly update or a monthly update, or you can even get an alert about those reports. So we are really excited about this year. Hopefully we will execute on most, if not all of these. And like I told you guys, this is subject to change, and our delivery model is cloud and then server. So exciting stuff coming up. So I will give you a little sneak peek on where we are and what we are working on. So this is the data visualization. So we felt that you can gather a lot of information from the reports we have right now, and you can export them and work with them in whatever shape or form you want. You can also link with other BI tools. But we think it's really important that when you go to Tempo reports, you can at a glance get an understanding of the data and how your organization is functioning, a little heartbeat. And then, of course, you can go and scan the underlying data. And also part of that will be that PNG export I showed you previously, which will allow anybody to export that PNG and then use it in slideshows or wherever you want to use it. So really easily, anybody can get an overview of what's happening in your organization. This feature we are currently working on, and when we ask you about features to test, this will probably be one of those features. How take a look, see if it works for your organization, etc. Another one we've got a lot of feedback from that is that people like our interface, they like our reporting, but they would like more functionality on top of it. So we are implementing what you see is what you get exporting, where you can either a PNG, PDF, Excel, CSV, or printable, you can get exactly the information you see on the screen. Of course, we will still allow users to do it as it is right now, get the whole data set via CSV and Excel. And of course, we will make this available for the planner reports as well. The last but not least is what I showed you previously and talked about previously. It's the shareable reporting concept. This is a really early draft. As you saw on the roadmap, this is set for Q3, but still we have done some early work on it, and we are really excited about it. So the early concept is that we will allow users to collaborate within an organization. We will allow them to subscribe and then set alerts, and then have being able to publicly share those saved reports. So we are continuously working on this, and hopefully in a couple of months, maybe we will show you more specifically about this. And if you sign up for the testing, we will probably allow you to test these things. For those of you who have a keen eye, you can see here below, behind this shareable report pop-up, that the data visualization is there. So it will be something like that when we deliver. So you will have below the information I showed you in the demo, and on top you will have the data visualization. I hope I didn't go too fast through this. I hope you found it useful and informative. So next up, I will hand it over to Olaf. So thank you guys. Looking forward to talking to you again.
Great, thank you, Hjalti. Now, isn't it true, and as you mentioned, we do offer multiple ways for users to give us their feedback on new and upcoming features. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about, is it through sessions or surveys, or what options are there?
So of course, there is I think the main feedback between us, the PMs, and the user is the idea portal. We look at that a lot, and we listen to what the user has to say, and then we communicate through that portal. So we can write comments and then get feedback directly there. Other things we are trying to do is for example, trying to recruit users that are really interested in reporting, and allowing them to sign up so they can get a sneak peek or even a deeper understanding of those features we are actually testing out. And then what we would do is, if you sign up, we would open up for that specific feature on their specific instance. So I think those two are the main ones.
Great. Then we're going to go ahead and launch. This is the second poll of the day. But what we really want to know is, for those in the audience that really want to give us their feedback, this is your way to let us know. So we'll go ahead and launch the poll. So let me see when you can see it. There it is. So if you think trying out new features before they're released sounds awesome, and you would want to participate, just answer yes, that we can reach out to you. If you prefer not to participate, just let us know, or skip this question entirely. For those that are interested, we will be reaching out to you via email, and we might set up a session where we can walk you through some of the upcoming features, or get your ideas. What is it that you're trying to solve? Some gaps that you have encountered. So yeah, we'll see. We'll give you a few more seconds to answer. And we do really appreciate it. It's so much fun to talk to our customers and our users and getting their feedback. So I think we can go ahead and close the poll. Nice. That's a nice audience there for you, Hjalti.
Brilliant.
That is awesome. Great. Let's go to the questions then. We'll open up the questions. You can use the Q&A section on the Zoom panel. You should see that on your screen. We'll take as many questions as we have time for. And then, of course, you can always reach out to us via email. You can reach out directly to Hjalti as well. You can see his email address there on the screen. And then our support team is always available as well if you have any technical issues that you need help with. So let's just go ahead and I'll see, what do we have here? Oh, this is a good one, Hjalti. I've tried to use tempo reports, but I don't see all of the data. What could be amiss?
Yeah, so I think what is probably happening is, tempo reports aligns with Jira tempo permissions. So it's important, to get them set up with your Jira and tempo administrator first. So what is probably happening is that you don't have the permissions or the admin privileges to view the data for your whole organization. So that's just a conversation you will need to have with, whomever is the tempo administrator for your account.
Perfect, thank you. I see a lot of questions about saving reports and then sharing them. And obviously that was on the roadmap, and that should be sometime in Q1 time period, right, Hjalti?
Shareable reports, we're really excited about it. I think everybody who is associated with Tempo, uses Tempo, is really excited about it. We have it in Q3, but we are working on it. I think we have early concepts. We have an idea what we want to do, but during that process, I think we also want to increase performance and work on that. So as a precursor to that, we have a few tasks in Q2 we want to do. And then in Q4, yes, we will move full force on shareable reports. But as you know, if we can move on it quicker, we will.
Of course. Can you maybe just confirm which version you were showing in the demo? Which version of the product?
This was our cloud instance. So if you see any discrepancies between what you're seeing in your instance on cloud and this one, that is because this is our test instance. So for example, you could see that in the top there, instead of saying grid and list view, we are working on something called overview and days. So that's a concept we might introduce. Doesn't change the functionality at all, doesn't change your saved reports at all. But this is the small little details we see around the place, which make it a little bit more intuitive of what you want to view. So when you hear something like grid or list, what does it mean? But if you hear something like, I want to get an overview versus I want to see days and weeks, we feel like that's a little more intuitive. So yes, so this is our test instance.
We actually did have a question about the grid and list view. So you covered 2 questions in one. Very good.
Oh, fantastic.
There are a few questions maybe in terms of how you set up the reports. One was about, what is the difference between estimated and planned? And is that the JIRA estimation, or is that something from Tempo?
Yeah, from what I understand, and I think on this call is Atti, our chief designer, UX and UI specialist, and he will jump in whenever I'm off topic. But yes, these are the JIRA estimations. So what you can see there is if you set up billable as a parameter when you log time, you can see billable and you can see log time, and then you can see the estimation from JIRA. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Can you maybe explain a little bit the difference between billable versus logged hours?
Yeah, so this is set up, I believe, within accounts. Accounts is a Tempo attribute. So basically what you can do is you can actually tick that you want to register if the hours are billable or not billable, and that will appear in the log time dialog. So that's basically a configuration your organization can actually set up. And if you want to deep dive into how that's set up, I'm reports, so Olaf can probably lead you in the direction of one of our product experts to activate those things. Really interesting stuff.
And we can include that in our follow-up email.
Absolutely.
We can include some content on how people can get started, our wonderful help center, our support team, and other recorded webinars that we have on demand as well. Terrific, thank you. So let me see, what do we have here as well? All right, here's a good one. Is there a way to have additional characteristics of each work log, like additional fields that would represent a characteristic of the work log, and then have that displayed in the reports? Is that possible?
Yes, up to a degree. So this is one of the use cases we want to focus specifically on. So there are work attributes that people want to see in the reports, which they're using in JIRA or in Tempo as well. There's also custom fields that people have set up. So at the moment, the reports are limited to a few of the functionalities I showed you. What is on the roadmap though is adding custom fields and then adding later on work attributes. Definitely, this is a use case we're looking into. And by the way, one of the more top voted issues or ideas in the idea portal.
Here's maybe a bit of a detailed question, but in the report, are all issues shown even if they don't have logged time on it yet? Or does it only show issues that have logged time on?
Right now, issues that have logged time on it. And it also applies to, if Atti can correct me if I'm wrong, it also applies to users. One of our ambitions and one of the user cases we've been looking at is actually showing 0 hours. So also showing users that haven't logged time at all. That actually gives a lot of alternative information, but also gives you an overview of saying, oh, okay, so there are people here that aren't logging time, and you can take the relevant actions, whatever that may be. But yes, this is what has been logged is shown in the report.
I think actually here's a question I could answer. Whether Tempo Reports is included in Tempo Timesheets. Yes, when you buy Tempo Timesheets, you get the logged time reports included. If you have Planner as well, then you get the plan time reports too. And if you have both, then of course you get both, and you unlock the plan versus actual report. So the Tempo reports always come with one or two of our other products. So I hope that answered the question. All right, let's see what we got here. Right. This one is actually more related to Tempo Planner. How to see free capacity of a particular team or whole organization for the next period if they got planned vacations and work. Do we have something in Tempo that can solve that?
So we have, of course, the planned report, and you can see that there, and you can have plan versus actual there. We have on server a report called capacity report, which addresses a lot of those user cases. So, but as you know, as I was talking about, one of our goals is creating a holistic experience. So what you can do on server, you should be able to do on cloud. One of the main or key features of a capacity report is all of those Groupon accounting attributes. So what we will do in 2021 is enhance the log time report so you can actually answer those questions. So that's a roadmap item.
Perfect, thank you. Now, the server versus cloud. Given that Atlassian will be switching to cloud-based, eliminating server, all these features will still be available on server for 2021 at least. So that's the question. Will all the features that are in server now and those that are coming on cloud, will they be available on server?
I think in regards to that question, it's probably better for the product expert to answer. But yes, this from what I understand, and Olav and Daniel can maybe answer this as well. There's going to be no changes to what you have available on server. And then the question becomes, what we do on cloud, do we do it on server? In most cases, but that's case by case value. Of course, then we have the data center, and that's not going anywhere. So I would say yes, without promising anything, because it's a little bit. It's we have 4 or 5 PMs that have a combination of focusing on cloud and server.
Exactly. So why can we not filter epics from one project and full project on one report? I guess, is it possible to filter by epic?
You can group by epic, but I think what was I'm not 100% answering. No, I think I'm not 100% understanding the question. Atti, if I may tag you in, do you understand the question at hand?
Yeah, it sounds like a question about conflicting filters. We do support filtering by epics, and by projects, so it might be a question on conflict between these two. I think we should definitely get more details of the call about this.
Okay, fantastic. So I think Oliver, if we can follow up on that after the call, it would be really good.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yep.
Great, awesome. So let me see, where should we go next? Here's a question from a recent user of Tempo Timesheets. They noticed in Tempo reports that you can display time aggregated directly at the epic level, but the same is not true for issues. We always get the subtasks displayed as well, even though they're not checked in the group by field. Yeah, it's a question about grouping and filtering again.
Grouping and filtering again. Yeah, can you answer? Can you ask the question one more time, please?
So you can display time aggregated directly at the epic level, but the same is not true for issues. you always get the subtasks displayed as well. I would think that is a plus, actually, that you get the subtasks as well.
Yeah, this is intended so people get a better overview of what's going on. I think Ati knows more about this here.
This kind of sounds like a feature request to have the hours totaled on the issues instead of showing the subtasks as well. So I think there's a reasonable use case for this. But,
I think so as well.
You can't currently do this, so yeah.
No. Yeah. So this is a decision that was made, but I understand the user case of just having issues only and aggregate up to issue. I think, but at the moment we try to show everything that is under an issue. So that's a feature request which we'll need to take a look at.
Yeah. I have another feature request. You touched on this earlier. Is there a way to identify missing time, for example, who has not completed all their timesheets in a time period? Is there a way to identify those?
So we have a functionality within Timesheet, which is approvals, which has been working on, which is not my domain. So you should be able to see some of that there. What we don't, though, and referring to the question before, is that do you show 0 hours? And that's part of the roadmap. So no, we do not at the moment, but we will. So you will be able to see if somebody's not logging at all, which is a really good insight and should be in reports. So we will work on that use case, definitely.
Great. And here's a question about utilization report. Will the team utilization report be moving to reporting? They like the report, but they have no way of adding more than one team or time periods.
That's another report which is on server. What we'll do is we will enhance the log time report to fulfill all those user cases. And when we do that, I think it would be really valuable to get that person's insight into how they see the user case. We see log time as this customizable report where you can, create your own reports, etc. And it's user case based. So you should be able to create the capacity user case, utilization user case, etc. So yes, the idea is to not as a whole entity move it, but be able to create exactly that user case using the log time reports. So that's the idea. And while we are doing that, we have an opportunity to actually address those cases the limitation for utilization report. So that's on the agenda.
Okay, cool. Now, will the new charting that you sort of hinted at, will that be just available in the reports, or will there be new dashboard gadgets?
Good question. So this specific data visualization is only on the reports. So we're focusing on creating that at a glance user case within reports. We will then focus our attention to the gadgets, and if there is high needs for being able to display all of that in a gadget, we need to take a look at that. But the scope for now is that data visualization is within report.
Okay, awesome. Here's a roadmap related question. When will some of these items be released on server? Is there a roadmap? So how quickly does it follow on server after it has been released on cloud?
That's a really good question. I think that's the whole PM team to answer. My answer would be that when we release a feature on cloud, servers should follow. But of course, I think the team is still evaluating the information we got from Atlassian last year that they were discontinuing server, but data center not going anywhere. So yes, we will. Whatever we do on cloud should be available on server unless something else comes up.
There's a question related to overtime and vacationing. Maybe I can pitch in on that one first. Can you demonstrate how you keep track of overtime and vacation along the year? I think we do have something recent about overtime that we could share after the webinar. But as for vacation, we always recommend that people use internal issues to track items such as vacation or sick time. And then you can use Tempo Planner to plan your future vacation, then you can log it on the you can log the time after the vacation is done. Then you can run reports to both show the future, who is available, and then back in time, who has been taking their vacations. So I think, is there anything that you want to add there, Hjalti?
No, I think that's pretty much says it all. And I think you can see what you have planned in the plan time report as well. So,
yeah. And I think here's another one about the capacity report not being available anymore. It is on server, and like you said, you're working on just enhancing the tempo reports so that you can get the information just in a slightly different manner.
Yeah. So and this is also a little bit of a question for our PM of Planner and Cost Tracker, Mr. Christopher. So I think there is, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not talking out of turn here, that there is an idea to move it over as a whole. So you can do both. So most of the user kits will be supported on log time. So if I think I remember correctly that Christopher has something about capacity report or elements of it being moved over. So that I think we need to align with Christopher on that.
Perfect, thank you. Here's a question. We currently use the reports as you demonstrated. However, we do not have Planner at this time. Do you anticipate running a session on Planner? Yes. So we actually have a fairly recent session on Planner, similar to this one, that we can share with everyone. And then we do regularly we don't have it scheduled, but we have regular webinars focused on Planner too. So we'll make sure to invite everyone to that. But we'll send you the recording of our past webinar, and hopefully that will answer some of the questions that you have. And here's another question I can take. Will you be sending out the recording? Yes, we will send the recording to everyone who registered, and that should be available later today. You'll get the rough cut, but I think that's fine with people. All right. Approvals, Hjalti. Are you ready for a question about approvals?
That's not my domain specifically. I don't even think Addi is deep into approvals. I think we will need to get Ruchi to help on that and get back to that person. I can try, but I think I don't know if I'm probably not the best person to answer that, unless it's really something to do with reports.
Yeah. Are there any plans to have multi-level approvals in tempo reports? And I think that might be a question we need to follow up with. So we'll do that for that person.
Yes. For now, yeah, please do.
All right. So here's a question. Is it possible to filter for organizations, for example, a field in Jira Service Desk?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, you can the field that we have is account category, stuff like that. We are looking at having a higher level organizational filtering. If I'm understanding the question correctly, that you want even a level above what the filtering options we have right now. So yes, we are looking into that, and I think it's a really valuable case, especially within enterprise and when you have multiple organizations. It will be really beneficial to, for example, the Boston unit, the Montreal unit, and the Reykjavik unit, and filter those. You can, of course, with the setup, and I think the product experts can chip in on this one, you can actually achieve this in some capacity. But if I understand correctly, this is a feature request about having even higher level filtering. We're definitely looking into that.
Yep. There are a few questions related to price table and rates. Here's one, for example. If you have the price table completed in accounts, is there a report that you can work out the costing based on the amount of hours per user? So display the cost per account per user, or do you need tempo budgets for this?
So this is probably a question for Christopher, which owns budgets and cost tracker on cloud. Addi, he's been here for a while. He might know a little bit more about the price tables, Addi. So I will either refer to Addi or our product expert on this one.
Yeah. So there is a report on server within accounts which reports on this. If you have the price tables configured, you can get a report, but it's not on cloud. So yeah, I'm not sure, like, what was the question again?
It's a bit long. Is the report that you can work out the costing based on the amount of hours per user, or display the cost per account per user?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward question, and yeah, I think it's mostly about us supporting the cost rates in the Tempo reports solution. So now it's only this one report in Tempo accounts which does this. So this might be something to consider, Hjalti.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Hjalti. I think, and this is of course server, and this is again something we need to evaluate. What goes from server to cloud, and what goes from cloud to server. I mean, the plan is still whatever we do on cloud, we do on server, and this is part of our goal. Create a holistic experience. Whatever you can do on cloud, you should be able to do on server, and vice versa. And this will definitely be part of that evaluation.
Okay, perfect. Now, we won't have time for all the questions, but we will get back to everyone who asked the question. We'll answer via email. Here's one I think we can maybe end with, or we'll take a couple more. Is there a plan to connect the Tempo Planner with Office or Google Calendar?
So this is again Christopher, but yes, I believe so. That Olav, I think he went through that in your previous presentation. I think one of the big items for 2021 is calendar integration. So yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So I'm just going to see if we can take one more question before we call it a day today. Let's go with this one. Is it possible to see every issue type in the reports?
So if you notice on the roadmap, we have that on the roadmap. So issue type is one of the enhancement of the issue use case we want to do in 2021. I think we set that for Q3.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think that's all the time that we have for questions today. Like I said, we'll get back to any unanswered questions via email, but we really appreciate everyone who joined us here today. Fantastic questions from the audience. Hjalti, any final words before we say goodbye?
No, I just love the interaction. It's a lot of it that those on the spot. Hopefully I and Addi and you guys were able to answer your questions. Of course, a little bit sad that we couldn't answer all. We will get back to you, but fantastic to see that so many of you want to test with us as well. That will be super helpful. And hopefully soon we will reach out to you guys and talk details on that. But thank you so much for showing up. And hopefully this was informative. Give you a little sneak peek of what we are thinking, and hopefully together we can create some really nice intuitive reports.
And let's not forget, we have our product marketing director here as well. Daniel, any last words before we say goodbye?
Yeah, no, I would just echo Hjalti's points. I mean, great interaction, great comments, great questions. We'll endeavor to get back to everybody who asked a question we weren't able to get to in the time we had this morning and this afternoon. So thank you for that. And also great to see such good attendance at this webinar. So clearly it's an area that our customers and prospects are looking for some help, assistance, and guidance. So yes, thank you. And Olaf, thank you for organizing. And as I think you mentioned, we will be making the recording and the slides available to everybody who registered in the next day or two. If you have any more questions, comments, then please don't hesitate to reach out.
Exactly. And we'll send some links as well on how you can find our documentation and our support team. If you have any technical questions or details, please reach out to them. If you're trialing or thinking about trialing, please reach out to our sales team, see if they can set up a demo for you and walk through your use case with you. Otherwise, I really thank you to everyone who joined us today. Stay safe, and we hope to see you in our next webinar. All right. Goodbye, everyone.